The high cost of air travel within the Caribbean region is under renewed scrutiny following a bold challenge by Montserrat's newly re-elected Premier, Reuben Meade. Speaking at the 48th Regional Meeting of CARICOM Heads of Government in Barbados on Wednesday, Meade called on regional leaders to address the economic barriers posed by inflated airport fees, which he believes are stifling regional mobility and economic growth. Meade's stance is particularly pertinent as his government works to address transportation challenges on Montserrat, where limited ferry and flight options have been exacerbated by financial constraints stemming from past economic management.
This is an economic hindrance to our people. This is an economic hindrance to our people moving freely across the region, as oftentimes the taxes can sometimes be more than the advertised price of the tickets. Free movement of our people, let us make it as free as possible.
The Montserrat Premier is also calling out regional leaders for their delay in the implementation of policies to allow for the free movement of CARICOM nationals.
Many years ago, decisions were taken by CARICOM heads which were meant to enhance integration and improve the process of free movement within the CARICOM community. And I can say this because although I am the newest kid on the block, I've been around for a very long time. We as CARICOM heads decided to enable CARICOM nationals to have the opportunity of using driver's licenses or other forms of government-issued photo identification for travel within the region. This has still not been put into effect by all of our member states.
Premier of Montserrat, Reuben Meade. Meanwhile, CARICOM's chairman and Prime Minister of Barbados, Mia Mottley, is calling for urgent action to address the escalating cost of living in the region, describing food and water as the new oil and gas of the 21st century. Speaking at the CARICOM summit, Prime Minister Mottley emphasized the critical need for the region to tackle the rising cost of essential resources, which have placed significant strain on households across the Caribbean. As global inflation, supply chain disruptions, and climate change continue to affect the availability and prices of food and water, the Caribbean nations are feeling the pressure more than ever.
The issue of cost of living continues to bedevil too many of our people, and we run the risk that our traditional sources of food may well become more difficult to access because of the climate crisis and because of decisions on the movement of labor. And to that extent, while we have spoken at length always about creating new sources for imports while boosting our production regionally, we can no longer speak about it, but it must become our reality because food and water are the new oil of this 21st century.
That was CARICOM's chairman and Prime Minister of Barbados, Mia Mottley.